Few hours to the presidential primary of the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC), the identity of President Muhammadu Buhari's preferred successor was still shrouded in secrecy and causing tension among the aspirants and stakeholders. Multiple presidency sources pointed at four persons as the likely choice. Those mentioned were Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, Chief Rotimi Amechi, Chief Ogbonnaya Onu, and Chief Emeka Nwanjaba. Some party leaders said last night that they could not read President Buhari's body language on the issue. Many leaders of the party and various convention committees were locked in meetings at many locations in Abuja last night in readiness for tomorrow's primaries. Leaders of Southwest were also holding a make-or-mar meeting to forge a common front on consensus candidates at the home of former Ogun State Governor Chief Olusegun Oshoba. But last night, President Muhammadu Buhari hosted stakeholders of the APC to a dinner. The event, which took place at the banquet hall of the Presidential Villa, Abuja, was said to be a follow-up to the meeting he held with the national leadership and presidential aspirants of the party on Saturday night. It was gathered that yesterday's dinner was attended by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, the leadership of the National Assembly, including President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, and Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mr. Femi Gbajabiamila, and other prominent members of the ruling party. The president was expected to use the occasion to press ahead with his desire to achieve a consensus on the race for the party's presidential ticket before the convention. Earlier, National Chairman of the party, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, had promised that all stakeholders of the party would be reached in the consultation process. Responding on behalf of the aspirants, former governor of Old Abia State and immediate past Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu, Governor Abubakar Bandaro of Jigawa State, and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo thanked the president for his leadership and guidance, pledging that they would hold the consultations as cancelled for the unity and strength of our party, the APC. Meanwhile, there has been confusion among the aides and supporters of President Buhari over who his preferred candidate among the presidential aspirants is. About 5 of the aspirants have been mentioned by some people as the president's choice. The name that appears regularly are the former Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, and the former Minister of Science and Technology and Innovation, Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu, the former Minister of State for Education, Emeka Nwanjaba, and the Governor of Ebonyi State, Dave Umahi. Some of the president's aides that were approached to mention Buhari's preferred candidates said, "Up till now, we are confused. Mr. President is keeping everything to himself, unlike the position of the party's national chairman, where he mentioned the name of Senator Adamu before the convention. All the names people are mentioning are mere guesswork. His body language has not revealed his preferred candidate." This came as Kogi State Governor and one of the 23 presidential aspirants, Alhaji Yahaya Bello, disclosed that at the meeting with President Buhari on Saturday, they all agreed to accept any one of them he chooses as a consensus candidate. Bello, who spoke to the channel's Politics Today program, said he agreed with President Buhari's request to have input in the election of his successor, as was extended to APC governors. "I'm ready for consensus if it comes from the president," he said, adding that he was ready for consensus or primary because he had the support of 50% of the expected 2,340 delegates. On how other aspirants were taking President Buhari's move for consensus, he said, "At the dinner the 23 aspirants had with the president, almost 100% of the aspirants agreed that whoever he chooses among us will abide. Asiwaju Bola Tinubu was seated at the meeting. He did not oppose it. Dr. Onu and Governor Bangudu spoke. The vice president also concurred. If the president comes up with a candidate and a vice presidential candidate today, all of us will follow." Meanwhile, Tinubu campaign organization yesterday asked the Senate President, Senator Ahmad Lawan, Governor Yahaya Bello of Kogi State, and former Zamfara Governor Ahmed Yerima to withdraw from the presidential race. On Saturday, the Northern All Progressive Congress APC governors, in a statement, urged presidential hopefuls from the region to withdraw from the APC presidential race. Reacting to the development, the Tinubu campaign organization spokesperson Bayo Onanuga described the northern governors as worthy patriots for their decision to support power shift to the south. Onanuga said, "We enjoin other aspirants such as the Senate President Ahmad Lawan, Governor Yaya Bello, and former Governor Sani Yerima to also bow out of the race. History will be kind to them all. We salute the courage of the APC governors from the north for their patriotic decision to sustain the unity of the country and that of the party. The decision of the northern APC governors has once again confirmed that our country will make tremendous progress when the bond of our unity is strengthened and preserved," he said. Our northern APC governors have shown that APC believes in power rotation in the true spirit of national equity and justice, unlike the opposition People Democratic Party that abandoned its zoning policy for hegemonic political expediency, ethnic and religious calculations that grossly undermine the party's commitment to the 1999 Constitution. Asiwaju Tinubu believes that our country does better when leaders across the country rise above personal, ethnic, and religious sentiments to uphold justice and fairness. Those governors are patriots and honorable men who will be remembered for acting to save Nigeria from potential political crisis and another round of national distrust and mistrust. But the APC yesterday restated its position on statutory delegates ahead of its presidential convention slated to begin today. While the party had stated that only elected ad hoc delegates will participate in its presidential primary election, there was confusion at the weekend following reports that the High Court in Kano had given its nod for statutory delegates to participate in the exercise. However, in a chat with Vanguard, National Publicity Secretary of the APC, Felix Moka, said the special convention on presidential primary will proceed as planned with ad hoc delegates. Moka said, "Our special convention on presidential primary will proceed as planned. Only elected ad hoc delegates will be accredited to vote at the primary." The party had few days ago ruled out participation of statutory or super delegates following the refusal of President Muhammadu Buhari to assent to the Electoral Act 2022 Amendment Bill, which would have provided roles for such category of delegates. Similarly, the party inaugurated 18 subcommittees for its special convention and presidential primary slated for June 6 to 8, 2022. Inaugurating the subcommittee, National Chairman of the party, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, said, "The convention this year is a bit different from other conventions. It is different because it is the first transition convention of our great party. The forthcoming convention will be expected within our constitution to produce the flag bearer of our great party to contest the presidential slot. We are very careful that we choose different persons to be part of the committee that have been enumerated by the National Secretary."